here on Your Classical Minnesota Public Radio. Now, over the weekend, we have once again opened submissions for this year's Karin Larson YourClassical Prize. So, if you're a young artist between 14 and 28, you have until the end of March to get your entry in. We're going to spend some time today with one of last year's winners of the Karin Larson YourClassical Prize in what is called the Emerging Artist category, the under 18 category. We want to welcome violinist Pitsavas Wakely from Northfield. Thanks for coming into the studio and joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here today, Tom.
It's good to catch up again. We talked when you won the prize last year. Since then, you've had a chance to come in here to MPR, to the Maud Moon Weyerhaeuser Studio, and make a recording, which we'll hear a little later on. Tell us what that experience was like.
Winning and just competing in the Karin Larson YourClassical Prize was unlike any competition that I've entered. It wasn't as intense. The competition wasn't as intense, I should say. And I felt surrounded by great comrades and watching the wonderful musicians I was up against. I mean, they were all so fantastic, and then winning the prize is just, I can't thank everyone here at MPR enough for the opportunity of being able to play and debut my piece in a way that I've never been able to before. It's the first time in a professional studio.
Remind us of your education from Northfield. You are homeschooled, and you are a junior, high school junior level?
Yes.
Yeah. And what impact has this prize had on your thinking about your future plans and how music fits into those plans?
Well, winning this prize has impacted my future in that I do plan to pursue music, whether that's music performance or whether I play in a professional orchestra or even studied conducting a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Rather difficult, but it has aided me in this world can be, quite expensive, and the conservatories that I hope to be applying for and the materials I need, whether that's a new bow or something to fix with my violin or application for a summer institute, or it will definitely, it has already come to help so much. It is really, really
it's coming handy.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me do you have plans for the summer that include music? Any camps or?
Yes, I've actually, I've sent out a couple applications, one to New York for the NYO USA summer program, another one in Maine, the Bodwin Music Festival, and then one in Ohio, the Encore Music Festival.
Wow. All right. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Pitsavas Wakely, violinist from Northfield, with us this afternoon. And we'll talk a little more about, now open, the Karin Larson YourClassical Prize. You have until the end of March to get your entry in. And Anna did that last year and was the prize winner in her category, which is the Young Artists, the Emerging Artist category, under 18. Now, I asked you to bring some favorite music, and you picked a couple of really wonderful things. And the first one is, now Tchaikovsky. We think of ballet music and the symphonies and his great violin concerto, after all.
Yes.
But you chose choral music by Tchaikovsky. Tell us about this cherubic hymn.
Well, the cherubic hymn by Tchaikovsky has drawn me in ever since I was a little girl. I was first introduced to it through a composer study that I was doing at home, being that I'm homeschooled. It was one of the pieces that I had to listen to just to become more well-rounded with his compositions.
Yeah.
And I came across this piece because, like you said, you usually think of other orchestral works of his or his violin concerto, but I heard this piece and I was just completely enchanted by the absolute angelic choir, and it was absolutely magical to listen to for the first time. And singing was also, it happened to be my first love, even a little bit before violin. And so
is that how you started in music, singing?
Yes. Just kind of singing along with my family, and just it drew me, and I just And then, of course, when I discovered violin, I was like, ooh, I love this as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
hearing because it's rather grand, just like his orchestral pieces, I didn't know that something like that could just sound as heavenly as it did, and for a choir at least.
Now let us lay aside the cares of this life, that we may receive the King of all invisibly ensconced by the hosts of angels. That is the cherubic hymn by Tchaikovsky. It's part of a larger work, a liturgy of St. John Chrysostom. And we heard back in the USSR Ministry of Culture Choir and Valery Polyansky. That was music selected for us by my guest this afternoon, guest DJ at this point, violinist Anna Pitsavas Wakely, who was one of the two winners last year of the two Karin Larson YourClassical Prizes. And that's a stunning piece by Tchaikovsky. It's really in that Russian choral tradition, that rich Orthodox tradition.
Yes, it really is. Another reason why I was drawn to it was not only its beauty, but Tchaikovsky was raised as an Orthodox Christian in Russia, and I too, my family, we are Orthodox Christians, and so listening to this type of music when I was introduced to this piece also just brought me back to my childhood memories, and of course memories even now of attending liturgy on Sunday, because every Sunday at our Orthodox church here in St. Paul, actually, we have our Divine Liturgy, and of course, this is a very, very a grander version, but it's familiar to me, and that was another reason why I felt very deeply connected with it.
It's music that, almost to risk a cliche, that when you hear it, you can sort of smell the candles and the incense and see the icons flickering, the candles against the icons.
Yes.
It really is stunning. Well, thank you for bringing it with you today as we talk about the Karin Larson YourClassical Prize. And here's what I want to ask about, especially with any young artists who are listening or any of their family who might say, oh, this would be a good opportunity. Tell us what young artists need to know about getting it's a video audition ready, and what that process was like for you last year.
The process for me was rather unique in that the competition was brought to me by a family member, a dear family member, my grandmother, who brought a packet of all the details to me and my parents. And I had been looking at it because I was applying to some other competitions, and I was looking through it, and I thought, this is a big competition, but why not just jump into it? I have some videos and recordings ready to go. So I submitted it. I did a little bit of research for the essay that also came along with the written application.
Yeah.
And how it celebrated women in classical music, which was a little difficult because it's Pablo de Sarasate, a man. But that was pretty much the majority of my experience with the application. And then I kind of sent it off and then hoped for the best, and look what happened.
Yes, exactly. So you send it off and hope for the best.
Yes.
That's terrific advice, I think. And tell us about, you picked, and we're going to hear it because you've since recorded it here in the Maud Moon Weyerhaeuser Music Studio, the piece known as Ziguernerweisen, or Gypsy Airs, or Roma Airs. Tell us how you came to pick that.
Well, it had been a piece that I had been studying through the year, and I had just deeply fallen in love with the style of the piece and how virtuosic it was, and coming to find a little bit more about Sarasate and the virtuoso that he was.
Yeah.
And just the gypsy style of that piece. It's so free, and it was up to my own interpretation, and there was just so much I could do with it, and just create certain melodies, certain things I never knew I could do. It really gave me a chance to explore my instrument, and it has remained since then. I think forever will be one of my favorite pieces.
Now, if there are young artists listening now, would you recommend they do the same thing? Find a piece that lets them explore. In other words, how do you play it safe with a piece you know by heart, or do you explore a bit?
I would say to any young artists listening, do what is best for you. If you feel comfortable, I suppose, with exploring a piece and have it ready to, send off to a competition such as the Karin Larson,
Your
go
classical
for it.
prize,
Yes, go for it.
Yeah.
That there's a certain confidence that you gain from that. And but also, if you have a piece that you've memorized and you've had time, you've really let it sink in. I would also do that too if you feel comfortable. Really, whatever is up to the person in question.
And we should say at YourClassical.org, there are all the questions answered and all the rules and a place for you to apply and submit. It's all there. All your questions will be answered at YourClassical.org. Look for the Karin Larson Prize. You can find it. You click on news, and it's the first thing that comes up, a big box. More music now from Anna Pitsavas Wakely, who won that Karin Larson YourClassical Prize last year. And you also picked, this is orchestral music, not solo violin music here. Tell me about, it's an old favorite, and it needs no introduction, as they say, but we're going to let you have the introduction.
Well, this second piece that I picked, Antonio Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, or the New World Symphony, Movement 2,
Right.
the Largo movement, has forever been one of my favorites. There's a bit more of a tender backstory to this one. Before I knew the orchestral work, when I was around 2, 3, 4, just a little girl, my grandmother, who was Greek, just I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
She
it's a lovely story.
She would hum this melody. She would lull me to sleep with this melody.
Oh.
And this was before, of course, I read on Dvorak and knew about the symphony. So when I grew older and I studied a little bit more on Dvorak's life and came to absolutely adore the Ninth Symphony, I listened to the second movement, and after hearing the noble entrance of the brass and then the quiet hum of the strings and then the oboe melody that comes, I believe it's oboe, I recognized it and I said, oh, that's what my yaya, Greek for grandmother, would sing to me as a little girl. She passed away 2 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry.
But, thank you. But the memory of her singing that melody still comes to me, and I find time every day, if not every other day, to try and listen to this movement, just because of how gentle and how tender it is, and of course the tender memories that follow.
The Largo from Dvorak's New World Symphony, number 9. What a nice performance there by the Los Angeles Philharmonic and Gustavo Dudamel. And Anna Pitsavas Wakely, violinist from Northfield, here with me this afternoon, picking a couple of pieces of music. And all your music you brought with you just gets you right there, right in the heart. That was just gorgeous. And that's a tribute to your grandmother, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for picking it and bringing it in. I really appreciate that.
Course.
We are talking about the Karin Larson YourClassical Prize, which Anna won last year in the high school student category, 14 to 18. That's the emerging artist category. And we also have a post-high school, 18 to 28, and that is a pre-professional musician category. I know this because I'm looking at all the rules, all the rundown, all the news you need to know about the Karin Larson YourClassical Prize at YourClassical.org. So there it all is, and you need to have a link to or a very good video performance, right? Mm-hmm. And also write an essay, and it's an essay about the connection of the piece that you have done and its connection to women in classical music, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Anna did that last year, and look, emerged as the winner. And here's what I want to ask you before we hear one of the benefits of the prize, and that is a recording made here in the Maud Moon Weyerhaeuser Music Studio down the hall. And we'll hear you play Ziguernerweisen by Pablo de Sarasate. But if there's someone on the fence right now, a student, either high school or college age, and they're saying, maybe I'll let this one go by, what do you say to them?
I would say to the students who are thinking of applying, just go for it. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there. The risk is necessary in a way. And maybe risk is too powerful of a word. Just, it's an opportunity for you to see what's out there, because you never know. You might get accepted, and don't get discouraged if you aren't. There's so many opportunities out there for music, and this is one of them, and it's so special. And to put yourself out there, again, you never know. I mean, I had no idea. I was kind of thinking the opposite. Like, I would not get in, like, even past the first preliminary round. But, I mean, and it just so happens that life is like that. I mean, there's unexpected things everywhere, and so just go for it.
You never know.
You never know.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and the other, there's a benefit, there's a cash prize with it, and the other benefit is you get to make a recording in our Maud Moon Weyerhaeuser Music Studio, which is one of the best in the country, certainly in the Midwest. Yes. And tell us about that. You went in there. You have pianist Alex Woods as well, was your accompanist, right? And you performed the piece that you actually submitted.
Yes.
And it's Pablo de Sarasate's Ziguernerweisen. So, Anna Pitsavas Wakely, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me, Tom.
Oh, you're welcome. And thanks for the great music you brought.
Of course.
And thanks for this performance. And I'm glad we could help make that possible with the Karin Larson YourClassical Prize. There's more at YourClassical.org. Anna, thanks.
Thank you so much, Tom.